there's a trend of men going overseas and uh, either marrying or wanting to deal with women overseas instead of in America. Which, I understand because, you know, this is kind of what I was talking about with my last video, like the breakdown of the family here. You go to, impoverished country, right? And you made money here because, like, listen, honestly, you're not going to be able to retire here if you're just a regular person. But if you save your money and make the proper investments, your money will go farther in a different country. Well, not only will it go farther, you probably have a better chance to meet a better wife than you would here in America. Here in America, the females, I don't know if it's something in the water, the food that we're eating, but it seems like their testosterone is rising and it has risen. I've complained about feminism for the longest time. I was at the gym the other day. I just noticed a lot of women they got really big quadriceps and diaper butts. Like, it's not even just like a nice ass anymore. It's like a huge fucking ass. Just filled with muscle. I've noticed more and more women like this at the gym. And I think that either they could be taking testosterone or something. But I don't know, I like small women, thin women. I like a nice booty like any other dude, but it's like being overdone. I see more women, it seems like I see more women, or as many women, in the dumbbells section as I do in the cardio section now. Which I think is cool that people are healthy. That's good, man. But I'm not attracted to a muscular woman. I don't like that. It just reminds me too much of a man body. And I'm not attracted to men. So women here in America are becoming more muscular, more independent. They basically are the men of their own life anyway, so like, they don't need us. That's what they act like. They don't need us. So there are women on this earth that do need us. And then that's why you're seeing men say, okay, see ya. Well, you can go ahead and do that too. You can go and find a dude from another country, just like men, but you're probably going to be kind of unattracted because he's not going to be what you want. It's a little bit different for women. Men will date down when it comes to finances. A man would rather date a woman that works in a fast food restaurant or Walmart or no job, as long as like he's attracted to her and she's feminine and soft and friendly and brings peace to his life, other than some loudmouth woman that makes like $200,000, $300,000 a year that totally controls him and runs his life and wants to compete with them nonstop. Like that's the last thing we want. Like, if I had a daughter, like, this is what I would tell her. I would say, listen, you got a couple of choices. Like, if you want to be the man of your life, which I highly doubt that she would, because I'd be in her life. If you want to be the man of your life, then go out and go to college and do that stupid crap and end up, like, putting your career over your family and probably partying and then being promiscuous, and because that's what will happen. They're just seeking masculine validation that they didn't get from their fathers. They don't have that from their fathers. So I would say, or the smarter choice, the more natural choice would be, instead of wasting your time in college and doing that stupid crap and drinking and partying and going to the bar all the time and just wrecking yourself, wrecking your body, aging yourself, instead of doing that stupid crap and just thinking about right now, maybe you could think about your future, and then maybe you can find a good man and maybe get married and then have kids. Have kids young. Get it out of the way. Find a good, stable man. He might be a little bit boring, but he's a good, stable man. He ain't going nowhere. There's plenty of them. Even if he's like 30. As long as he ain't messing around and he takes care of her. Takes care of his responsibilities. I wouldn't give a damn. I probably wouldn't give a damn if he was my age. As long as he's not fucking around and, like, trying to use her and shit. If he's trying to if he's a legit good dude and trying to start a family, I'd probably be cool with it. Have her kids, get it out of the way, and then when her kids get old enough, teenage years, then you can start your career. You can start going on doing things that you want to do. You get the kids out of the way when you're early 20s. By the time you're like 35, the kids don't want much to do with you no more. Then you can do whatever you want. Women seem to live longer. She got the next 50 years to do whatever she wants. There's a lot of females that go to college and they take on all this debt. And they get dumb degrees that don't mean anything. They don't even know it. You don't need to go to, like, philosophy and stuff like that. Like, you can just learn that on your own time. It's just an interest. But a lot of females here have been indoctrinated, and it's been the breakdown of the family, man. And I blame men. We're the ones that caused this. Weak men caused this. Weak men let feminism take over. That's the truth. Weak men let their families break down. I was a weak man. My family broke down. I had to raise my kids on my own pretty much. I mean, I had some help, but when they were really young, but it's been on me. So men like, if you're gonna go to another country, like, this is what I would do. This would never apply to me, but this would be my strategy. I'd earn a bunch of money. I would never bring a woman here. I would never bring her here, because you're taking her out of her element. You're taking her out of her family. What I would do is I would go to an impoverished type of country, somewhere where I can buy land, and then I want to learn their language. I'm learning their language and adopting their culture, assimilating to their values and their culture, because that's where I'm going to be living. But I would end up wanting to either buy a farm or building a farm for her family. I'd have a few houses on the farm for her family, so we could be independent. Maybe we can sell what we farm. They have jobs. She's around their family, and I'm not going to be in a big city. Obviously, I want to be away from that. And I wouldn't bring a lot of the luxuries that we have here there. You know, probably won't have air conditioning. I like to have running water because I like to be clean, and I want my woman to be clean. But I wouldn't have no dishwasher. I probably wouldn't even have a washer and dryer. I'd rather her, if I want to start a family, like this is if I want to start a family, I'd want her to upgrade her lifestyle, like she'd be upgraded, but I wouldn't want her being completely spoiled. Because that's what happens a lot. A lot of guys take women from different countries, they bring them here, and then they become Americanized and spoiled. I want her to have a better life than she had before I met her and her family. But I wouldn't want it like to be a dramatic, a huge increase, because I want them to keep their humbleness. You know, the farm would give her family a purpose, and I would like, we would all like be together. You know what I mean? Like, and you wouldn't have to worry about like bringing a woman here and then like she wants you to send money there, take care of her family. Just like they're all taken care of, and then you could be making money, and they could be making money, producing things. You know, raising your family. You know, I wouldn't want her on the internet. I wouldn't want her having a lot of these modern conveniences. I might have the internet. I might have access to that stuff. But I don't want her to have access to that stuff. Like I said, I want her to focus on taking care of the family, taking care of the kids. And I'm providing a lot of value. You try to do that here, it's going to cost a lot of money for that to happen. So it's best just to leave the country, save up a bunch of money, and it might take you 10 years. If you're young and work hard, like if you're starting out, work your ass off. Like when you're a young kid, your hormones are all messed up. You're gonna want to be distracted by a woman, and they just take your money. It takes a lot of your time and money. Well, if the women here had values like they do in different countries, you know, I'm not saying all women don't have it. I'm just saying it's becoming increasingly more so that women here just don't have any type of values and morals. And you know, this is just the truth, man. This is just what I see. Like the way they dress, they just don't care about them. They want to show everything off to everybody. Going to the gym, it's just seeing like these girls showing off everything. So like, it's better off just to go somewhere else. You know, and that sucks. That sucks. Like if you know, that has to be like that, but it's just probably better. Like if you want to start a family, and then that's what I was saying before. When you want to start a family, like you don't want to be in these Americanized cities. You don't want your kids going to public schools. You know, they have value. They teach some things, but you can teach them yourself. You know, like you could teach them. You could teach your kids. You you could homeschool your kids. You know, that's why I said I would have access to the internet. I would be teaching my kids. I'll probably be teaching her too. Teaching everybody, teaching the whole family, teaching them all kinds of stuff. Basically have my own class. So my kids will be educated. But you don't have to worry about, like, I mean, life can be taken away anytime, but like it's worrisome sending your kids to public schools here in America and worry about mass shootings, or them being indoctrinated, or for some reason why public schools want to teach sexuality to little kids is beyond me. I have no idea why they want to do that. They have no business teaching the birds and the bees to my kid. That's for me to teach. Now, when they become like teenagers and they want to teach biology and stuff like that, that's one thing. But there's no reason why a little kid needs to be learning about sexuality. They need to have their innocence preserved when they're young and enjoy their childhood. It needs to be protected as much as possible. Kids are off limits. When somebody becomes an adult, they can do what they want. It don't matter to me. They can do what they want, but kids are off limits. Yeah, but that would be my strategy, you know, like, it would probably be a better life for her family. So you'd have to do your research on what country you'd like to go to. But you can better that area where you're at. I mean, you don't want to go somewhere where you have to worry about like cartels or like gangs of. You want to go to a peaceful place, you know. And that's why I would rather be outside of the cities, being like in the countryside. And that's what I was talking about. Like, you want your family to have like a small community. You know, humans naturally, we're not. Most humans in history that's ever stepped foot on this planet, they've only known like. The most they've only known is like 50 people in their life. You know, before like the last 200 years. Like the average person lived in the countryside like 200 or 300 years ago, wherever. Like, they may have only known like 30 people their whole life, and most of it was their family. 30, 100 people, or whatever. You know how many people I met in my life? Thousands of people. So you want a tight-knit family values, and you don't need a bunch of extra people from the outside to try to be involved in your family. You need to have people you can trust around your little kids. That's not going to hurt them. I mean, that would be my strategy. Just work hard when you're young, when you're like 18. Save a bunch of money. And then by the time you're 30, 35, you should be able to, you know, start your family and be really good as a man. Because, like, your value as a man, as a young man, ain't shit. You have most young men, their value isn't nothing unless you're like, you come from a place of privilege of money, and maybe you got good looks because you got really good genes, and then like you're big because you got good genetics. But most people don't have that. So most 18-year-old kids don't have any value. They gotta work. They gotta learn skills. They gotta build up their money. They gotta build up their body. They gotta build up their charisma, their intelligence, their knowledge. You know, so it's just best to be a plow horse at that time, and work hard. That way, your life will be easier when you get to be older. You know how, like, I kind of have to do things backwards. My kids are raised just about, and it's about to be me time, and I can do whatever I want. Well, I'm gonna have to work my ass off, man. because I didn't do it when I was younger. And I'm gonna have to like work my ass off and get rid of my debt, because I don't want my investments to be I don't want my investments to be eaten into. And it's just like, it's just better to work hard when you're young as a young man, if you come from nothing. And that's what I try to tell my kids. And you just work hard when you're young. It'll pay off later on. And yes, you're not guaranteed to anything in life at all. Like, you're not guaranteed to make it to 35. But yeah, that's what I do. You don't have to worry about like what I would think about too is medical. Like, you want to go someplace where you have good medical care. So, vaccines are good. I like the vaccines I've had. I like the vaccines that my kids have gotten and when they were younger. I like them. So, I'm not saying the thing that in 2021, but I'm just saying, like, those ones are proven. Those ones have decades of proof. They have lots of studies. They have decades and decades of proof that they work really well. So, I don't know, some people are completely anti-vax, and that's cool. But I'm definitely not no scientist, and I'm 42 years old, and I've had all of mine when I was younger. So I made it this far. But that'd be my strategy if I was young. Because it's just a lot of toxicity here in America, man. And there's a lot of femininity when it comes to men, and a lot of masculinity when it comes to the opposite. You get what I'm saying? But that'd be my strategy if I wanted to start a family. And I understand why these guys want to go to another country at this point. I understand that.